Hey there everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about Black Torch Chapter 3 titled 3 on 3. So the chapter starts off with Jiro and the Mononoke going at each other one more time, and they're just going blow for blow while Jiro realizes like, hey, you know what, like if I can dodge this guy's attacks at the last minute, I'll be perfectly okay. And so he does do that. And as he does do this, he charges up his fist with Rango's like black energy and just shoots it at the Mononoke. So the Mononoke is able to tank this, and Joe's like, damn, this guy's pretty good. And so as he tanks this, the Mononoke is like to Joe like, hey, you're just a wash of bullshit, basically. You're just half a Mononoke and you're half a human and you're both garbage. And I think he says this is because, Joe's part of the Bureau of Espionage, and in the Bureau of Espionage, he's not as good as, like, I mean, he just joined. He's not that great. And you look at Rango and his abilities, he's just a husk of himself. So he's not at his 100% ability as well. So it makes sense why the Mononoke's like, yo, you're just, um, you're just a bunch of shit, basically. So as the Mononoke takes, is beating on Jiro, he gives him a bit of lore, basically. He tells him his lore. So this Mononoke was basically a god of the mountain forest, and he was just revered as like an ogre lord, basically. And the humans feared him, and they would give him offerings, and they would sacrifice, and they would give him food and pray for him, and in return he would protect them from natural disasters. So once the Bureau of Espionage came along, they changed that up. They got the humans on their side, and at one point the humans in the Bureau of Espionage plotted against this Mononoke, and so the Mononoke retaliated. He basically unalived everybody, the men, the women, the children. They were all eaten. And so as he says this to Jiro, he grabs his fist, and he altered his fist a little bit so it's a little more beefier, and he just grabs Jiro and just crushes him in his fist. So moving along, we cut away to Ichigo's fight. So Ichigo's fighting the Mononoke with two horns. He's wearing a gas mask and he's holding like a pole, and on the pole he has a flag. And so this Mononoke is basically like, yo, like, what are you doing here, bud? Like, I'm better than you every way, in every shape and form. You should be just like your ancestors, beg on your hands and knees and, just pray to me. You know what I mean? And so as he says this, Ichika kind of just dashes up and just to cut him down, basically. So as she does this, the Mononoke basically gets his like pole in his flag and starts waving it around. And as he waves it around, he kind of just creates an illusion while they're just standing on like those Japanese pillars on those like little. And they have a little bit of room to walk. It's not much of like a arena basically to fight. And the Mononoke basically says he's like, yo, like I have illusion based abilities and I've practically hijacked your entire nervous systems. You're practically under my control. It's practically like Genjutsu or like Kansen Saibin from Koketsu Getsu. So as they are fighting, the Mononoke gets his flag and he turns it into a sphere. Like the flag just starts um getting, it wraps around the pole and he turns into a spear. So he's kind of using it as like a thrusting weapon. And at one point Ichigo kind of just grabs the pole and just swings him out of the Japanese pillar. I can't remember what the name was. And as he actually as he jumps, sorry, he kind of just sprouts wings, and there's a little comedic moment in this chapter. They're like, "Hey, that's not fair. You can't have wings while I don't." So the Mononoke's like, "Okay, you want something? I'll give you something," and gives Ichika a new outfit, and she's in like a little schoolgirl outfit, She has a short skirt and everything, and Ichigo gets a little flustered and starts to um tries to cover herself up. But then she remembers, she's like, wait, hold on a minute. This is this is an illusion. This is nothing. There's nothing special about this. So then she gets her composure and whatnot. She's like, I'm sick and tired of these games, bro. Like, let's go toe to toe now. So she turns on her camouflage mode and she disappears. And Mono's like, what the hell? What's going on? And he feels something heavy going on his shoulders, and each goes right on top of him. And she cuts his horn off. And when he does that, she's like, okay, because your horn is cut off, you lose the ability to cast your spells. And so that's kind of where their fight kind of ends in this chapter. And so we go back to Jiro. So Jiro uses a technique where um he kind of just teleported out of the Mononoke's hand. Like he sacrificed his gear basically that Shiba gave him, and he kind of just teleports away. And as he teleported away, we see Jiro wearing a brand new like outfit. Well, sorry, not brand new. Rango has kind of given him a new outfit. He has cat claws now. He has a little bit of cat ears, and he has a scarf that goes around and kind of just covers up his face now. It gave me like a lot of Yoruichi vibes, like how she dresses and she has a cat aesthetic, just like that. So Jiro's wondering like, yo, what the hell? How did this happen? Like, and he asked Rango, he's like, Rango, what's going on? And Rango's like, yo, bro, don't even ask me. I don't even know nothing here. So Jiro's wondering like, yo, is this because of the suit? Like, because of this energy neutralization function that Shiba was talking about? And he's having this monologue, but he uh Rango snaps him out of his monologue. He's like, oh, Jiro, look ahead. And the Mononoke is getting ready to just pound him straight to the ground. And as the Mononoke tries to punch Jiro kind of just gets his hands up like he's trying to defend, but he cuts the Mononoke in half with his scarf. His scarf is kind of acting like a tail, basically, and the tail kind of whipped around and just cut the Mononoke in half. So Jiro and Rengo are looking at this. What the hell? And Jiro kind of his form kind of disappears, and Rengo kind of comes up. And as Rengo sees this, he's like, "What the hell?" And Rengo goes into a little monologue. He's like, "Are my powers coming back? Is it because I'm out of the killing stone? Is my powers now slowly returning?" And then he kind of remembers that the Mononukes were telling him, like, hey, you haven't eaten anything, right? You're once you've eaten, you'll be at full power. And Rango's like, oh, shit. It's because I'm with Jiro. I've been eating Jiro's life energy this entire time, and I still haven't noticed. And like, I haven't realized. And Jiro's like, yo, is something wrong? And that's where their little story ends for this chapter. And to finalize this chapter, we have Ryuji going up against that character we did not see their face. So Ryuji's like, hey, lower your weapon and surrender. Refuse and I shall have no choice but to use force. And he says this, I'm only going to say this as a warning. Please lower your weapon and, surrender quietly. But this Mononoke doesn't do that. He opens up his sword is like bandaged up, just like how Ichigo had his Sangetsu bandaged up, but this bandaged up is like with his, like sword and like sheath and all that. He undoes it, and Ichigo's like, what the hell? The cursed bindings of the hilt in the sinister aura. This couldn't be mistaken. I can never forget this. That sword. I know that sword. And the Mononoke holding the sword speed blitzes straight to Riji and uses a technique. He uses an assassination art, and he's like that voice in Flash Strike, and then that's the end of the chapter. Good setup. I really like how we get to see the Mononoke. My favorite part was probably Rango and Ringo realizing like, damn, I'm taking Jiro's life energy. Second favorite part is probably this last part of the chapter right here where we get to see a little. I'm not gonna say anything, but it looks like it's gonna be a nice family reunion for Ryuji. Ichigo's fight was, fairly decent. Nothing too much, nothing too special, but it was still good nonetheless. But anyways, that's the end of the chapter. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.